Hello and welcome to my podcast and to my YouTube channel. I say that because it depends on how you're actually viewing this or listening to this particular podcast. So welcome to everyone who's either watching or viewing this. I'm here today with a very good friend of mine, Paul Dowdeswell. He is, was actually a professional photographer for many years, now pretty much retired, although you're still really enjoying the aspects of photography and video, but more in a leisure way rather than in a professional status.
Just for me now, Bob. I don't do it for anybody else, really. Just my own gigs, no paid ones.
Well, this is why I love doing my podcast and my YouTube channel. I've got no clients breathing down my neck and telling me how I should do it. I do it the way I want to do it.
Yep, stick your fingers up to them.
And that's what we enjoy. Right, as the title says on the screen there, Sony ZV-1 Initial Thoughts. So, Paul actually hasn't really seen this camera much. He's kind of picked it up once or twice, but not really had a chance to play with it. So, I think this is an ideal opportunity for somebody who hasn't played with it to have a look at it. So, Paul,
yeah,
tell us what you think.
I have picked it up a couple of times, but really not done anything other than take a couple of photographs on auto. So, and I was quite impressed just with the initial feel. It's got it's a small camera feel, but it's got a lovely little grip on there that gives you a little bit of reassurance that you're not going to drop it.
Yeah, it's effectively styled along the lines of the RX100 range. Apparently, it's got the lens that was on the RX100 5A VA, because there's 7 of them in the RX100 range. So it's got the lens from the RX100 5A and the sensor and the electronics from the RX100 7. And what Sony have done, and I think cleverly, personally, Paul, I really think it's clever, they've combined the two technologies, or the two different cameras, to create the new range. Because it isn't called an RX range, it's an ZV range, and I reckon obviously there'd be more of them, you know. And if you look at the box, what does that tell you? What they're targeting?
It's made for vlogging.
Yes, made for vlogging. That's what it says on the box. Made for vlogging.
Probably a little bit unfair to the camera, because the camera is probably a very, very capable little piece of kit. But
it is very, very capable,
and everything's familiar. I mean, I've used Sony a couple of times, your Sonys, and I had a A6000 myself, and everything is very familiar on the back. So they've done a good job of keeping it.
No viewfinder.
No viewfinder. No, that's unfortunate.
I think that would upset
only the oldies.
Well, this is a point, isn't it? I mean, it's going to upset those that are into stills photography to some extent. But, boy, it's a compact camera, for heaven's sake. People are used to. I actually don't like using a mobile phone for taking photographs. I can't hold it. I just find it really, bizarre. But it's, most people would use a mobile phone. If you're coming from a mobile phone and you're using that for taking photographs, you're not going to worry about a viewfinder.
Well, no, and like I said, it is really just the not the older generation, but certainly people of a certain age that are used to throwing the camera up to their eye to take a photograph. It is very alien still for me. I mean, I've kept up with technology as far as cameras are concerned very well, but I still like to put the camera to my eye, and this feels not wrong, but not right.
Right. But you're more of a photographer rather than a videographer, aren't you?
Yeah,
you always have been a traditional photographer. For me, I agree with you, but I've only had that 3 or 4 days, and I've got really used to the fact, so I don't even think I wish it had a viewfinder. To be fair, in bright sunlight, it can be an issue taking photographs, because obviously you've got the sun beaming down on the monitor. But, overall, I think the style and the handling, I think Sony have done a really good job.
There's a little close-up of the screen the wrong way around. The articulating screen, very good. Turns around, closes up. On the back of the camera. Turns around. Folds up. Didn't see that.
It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very good. I mean, very much like my Olympus, so identical to the Olympus. But it is very good. It's a very good idea, because that makes it compact again. So when you're just taking photographs, you're back to being a very small camera, a very handy sized camera. But when you're vlogging, it comes out pointed towards yourself. It becomes a vlogger.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's sold as a vlogging camera, hence the reason it says that on the box.
Yeah.
It goes right down to f1.8 at its widest, and I think that's pretty good, pretty outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
There has been criticism though that the 24mm isn't wide enough for vloggers. I can kind of see that, because you don't get with vlogging. They reckon you want to try and get the ambience of your surroundings, so people can kind of see where you are. And it is quite tight. You do have to hold it out quite a long way from your arm.
I suppose you'd have to ask the vloggers.
Yeah, you're the vloggers.
Not the reviewers, the vloggers.
The vloggers, because neither you or I
so in 6
are
months,
into vlogging.
In 6 months' time, when the camera's been out for a while, we'll know whether it was any good or not.
Yeah. I think it's fine. It's got a free capsule microphone on the top. Yeah,
Let's have a look. So obviously we've got no SD card in here today, so I'm out at its widest, and I'm going to have it on some kind of stick, aren't I? Why is that not perfectly wide enough, Bob? I believe.
I think so.
For the viewers, you can't see that, and for the people listening to the podcast, you can't see it. But it's got a good head and shoulders and a good wide angle to it. I think 24mm is perfect.
Yeah. What they've done, they've used the same lens mainly to actually keep costs down, so they don't have to re-engineer a new lens. But I'd like to think that would be a successful camera, and a little prompt Sony to want to manufacture a second version of it.
We can't, until we record that, we can't let the viewers see, can we, what exactly it kind of field of view it's got. But
no, I took the SD card out because it's in my laptop.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it if I was vlogging. Not that I do, but if I was vlogging, I wouldn't say that was a too long a lens.
And it's got a free capsule microphone in it, which is unusual for Sony. So it's got a really good mic, but they've got a mic jack. Now again, to stills photographers, that doesn't mean a lot, but for people into video, whether you're doing vlogging or not is irrelevant. But if you're into video, having a camera with a mic jack, and you found this out because you've just recently purchased the G80, the Panasonic G80, and you're loving it, aren't you?
I am.
And it's got a mic jack.
I'm going to be dabbling with a bit of video myself over the next few weeks, and I've been procrastinating a little bit, but I have learnt quite a lot from Bob about mic jacks and resolutions and shutter speeds and everything, and certainly this one looks as though it's a complete little package.
It is,
doesn't it?
Yeah. So let's have a look at ports. Now again, for the listeners, we'll describe. It's got 3 ports on the side. And what Sony have done, again, to the criticism of some reviewers, I actually think it's a bonus and not a criticism. So you've got your 3 ports. You've got your micro HDMI, which is fine. That means you can output it to a monitor or external recorders, such as the Atomos recorder, or like the monitors I've got on the top of my Z50, Nikon Z50 there. But the only downside with the HDMI out is when you plug a monitor in, it cuts off the monitor on the back of the camera. So you're reliant on the monitor that you've got plugged in. That's frustrating, but that's Sony.
One thing that I will say straight off the bat, opening them for the first time, they are, unlike a couple of other cameras, and I can't remember which ones now, but the mic jack and the ports are on the opposite side to the way the screen articulates, so that's good. Well spotted, because on my G90, on the Nikons, on all of them, it's on the same side. Yeah. So when you plug a headphone or microphone lead in, it blocks, it obscures the monitor. Generally, I mean, for me at the moment, it's not a deal breaker because I'm new. But I can imagine for the more professional of the videographers out there, it can be a pain in the ass.
It is, yeah.
On the same size, but the fact that it's on the opposite side is good straight away.
Yeah, so it's got at the top is a mic jack.
Yeah, mic jack.
3.5mm mic jack with a hot shoe, so you can actually plug an external mic into the mic jack and put it in the hot shoe, which is nice. A little compact camera having the hot shoe.
Again, hot shoe doesn't get in the way because the screen articulates over to there instead of articulating up and over the top.
Indeed, to the viewers, the screen comes out to the side as opposed to flipping up or flipping down. So if you plug a microphone in, it's not going to obscure the screen. But likewise, if it flipped down, you can't put it on a tripod,
That's
which
right.
is a problem we have with the Z50.
A common problem.
And the Canon, what's that, the M5, you have to use an offset bracket to use the screen, you know. But it's got the micro or mini USB port, which again people have criticised. Why in 2020 haven't Sony gone with a USB-C port? But you know what, Paul? For me, that's a Brucey bonus, because I have got the little Sony grip. I don't know where it is, but I've also got these sort of things. This is a Jobo. I mean, it's a Jobo GoPro grip. God, can't believe say that when you're drunk. I bought this grip for me GoPro because it's got a battery in it. Now, because it hasn't got USB-C, my little Sony grip that I bought for it fits it and works with it. So you can adjust the zoom, take photographs, video, and whatever. But this is great because it's still got the original Sony BX1 battery, you know, that the RX100s have. And people are complaining that the battery life isn't so long. But you can charge that camera and run it from the USB port. So if you've got a grip like this, and I'm showing this to the camera purely for the viewers that can see it. Unfortunately, the listeners can't see it, but you can literally plug this straight into the grip, that into the side there, put that on top, and you've got that'll last a day. So why worry
as
about
well as the battery in the camera?
As well as so why worry about a little battery in the camera?
Yeah, absolutely, it's a good idea. Was that not the case with any other Sony cameras?
No, not all of them. No. I don't know which ones. I'm kind of lost. I lost it with Sony really for a bit, and I've only just gone back to Sony. But I think that's great. So you know, and also if you don't want to carry around that, the batteries are tiny. If you look how tiny those batteries are, a couple of those little batteries in your pocket. I mean, the third party batteries are not going to be quite as good as the Sony batteries, I don't think. But so yeah, I think the battery life is great. So that's for ports. The autofocus is phenomenal, Paul, in video and in stills. It's just tenacious. It just works.
Right.
I haven't yet. Look, let me put it into video mode. The thing is, this camera is a video-centric camera because it hasn't got your traditional mode dial. But again, all you do, just push the mode button in on the top. Not that anyone can see that. Push the mode button in and just turn the dial on the back here. Not again, the listeners won't be able to see this, and also the viewers can't really too well. But
we had this conversation the other day, didn't we? About...
And you just literally just turn the dial. But if I put it into video mode, like so. Right, and you can choose shutter priority, aperture priority, programmed automatic for video. I always put it on shutter priority, so I can set here in the UK the magic 1/50th of a second. But you point that at a few faces, and you see how it picks the eye up.
I've only got the one.
You see how it picks that eye up.
Yes, I do. It's very good, isn't it?
Isn't it? And it can be quite a distance away. You don't have to be right on top of a person for it to pick it up.
Is there a picture on the wall? Yep, bang on, straight away.
Yeah.
Snapped in, and that's with a photograph.
Yeah.
With her eyes covered by hair.
And she doesn't. She doesn't normally pick her eye out. Yeah.
No, it's very good, very snappy.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, very snappy.
Yeah. Now for vlogging, fantastic feature that is, isn't it? But the fact that you know, as you're walking around, moving around, it will stick to your face, and it will stick to it like glue. It is very, very good. Yeah, very, very good. So yeah, I think it will be. Now, is it a good stills? I genuinely think there's going to be a lot of people asking because nobody on the internet's talking about it as a stills camera. There's hardly any reviewers even mentioning that it takes stills. I've taken a lot of stills with it, Paul. I'm really enjoying it as a stills camera. It's got the same features as what the RX100 has, and all the RX100s, but it's just lacking the mode dial and easy access to the manual buttons. But why is that a problem? Because you've got the wheel on the back here for adjusting your aperture if you're in aperture priority, and your shutter if you're in shutter priority.
Well, as we said before, if you're a pro, then no, probably not, because you need to have. First of all, you don't need to look at it. You need to know where the buttons are when it's up at your face. You need to know, bang, 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 done. But once you're used to a menu system, it still becomes bang, 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 done.
It does.
It's just a different way of doing it. And clearly we've got some examples in front of us of the pictures you've taken. And it's a Sony camera, so we've said before that their pictures are outstanding. They're a bit clinical, but they're outstanding. The pictures are beautiful. Beautiful colours, beautiful depth of field. It's all in automatic.
If you scan through, a few... the raw files we can't view yet. But look at the sharpness, the clarity. Again, unfortunately, your listeners aren't going to be able to see that. But
a little bit of radio silence there.
Yeah, spin forward to a few other cats, because another nice feature with this. Do you know? A lot of things I think manufacturers put them in because they can, right? But it's got animal eye detect, particularly cats and dogs. I don't know if it works with birds and other animals, but now I love photographing my cats, well, particularly that cat. But again, the listeners won't be able to see this, but Paul's looking at some pictures on my computer
Sammy.
of little Sammy, and the eye, it just locked in on the eye. I can't prove that because there's no cat here for you to test it with, but I can assure you, Paul, that just locked in on Sammy's eye. It was brilliant.
Well, for the listeners on the podcast, I can tell you now, having seen quite a few photographs down the years and seen a lot of good quality, these are very, very sharp and very well exposed. I know that they're on auto, aren't they? I guess they're on auto with the eye.
With the eye.
But they are, as Sony always are, they are virtually perfect. The resolution is outstanding. The colour is a bit flat, but
it is on a few. Yeah, it is.
But certainly the quality and the resolution and the clarity, like I said, as Sony generally are, almost perfect.
And so I think it's a great stills camera. Now then, features. Let's quickly run through. There's two features, Paul, that again I thought was a toy, but they're not. They've got a feature on here called bokeh mode. I don't know what they call it, to be honest. I call it bokeh mode. Push that button and it sets the aperture to f1.8. So if you're out and about taking photographs or video and the camera has set an aperture, say f8, for sake of argument, in bright sunlight, you can push that and it'll whack it right down to 1.8. So it's not a computational sort of out of focus background that iPhones do and Android phones do. It's a genuine shuts the aperture down or opens the aperture. So you don't get that computational horrid effect.
So does it do that in auto mode
as
well? So if you're in auto, you can
just push that and it'll take it straight to f1.8. Clever little mode, that.
Quicker than a pro camera, because you literally have to click it over to aperture.
I wasn't sure if that would work. I wasn't sure if that would work in shutter priority. I keep mine on shutter priority so I don't get camera shake.
Yeah.
But you push that button and it'll whack the aperture. I don't know how well it will work indoors because there's not a lot of light in here anyway. But
so I'm going to change the mode because it's in video at the moment. I'm going to change the mode to eye auto. So we're in eye auto. And it's on 1.8 anyway. So it's gone up to... it's gone up to f3.2 because I'm shining it at a light. If I hit that button, background defocus. Right, okay, yeah. Every press takes it in or out of the mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
It's very good.
Good idea.
Yeah, good idea, that. That's one thing I think is great, but the best implementation. This is one of its strong selling points. And again, it's not a gimmick. For YouTubers particularly, this will work great. We call it showcase mode in video. And what it does, let's again go back to video. Brilliant this is. I'm going to find this a lot of fun and it's going to be really, really good. Where are we? Video. Oh, not that. Not that one. Video. Shutter priority. I've got it set on me function button. So you hit. You go into your function, and there's a mode here called showcase mode. Product showcase mode.
Yeah.
Turn that on. It's on off at the moment. Turn that. Oh, it's on off. Turn it on. Right. Now what will happen? So you're filming yourself. You have to have it on a tripod. You're filming yourself, and if you hold something up in front of the camera, it doesn't have to block your face. The minute you bring something up to the camera, it focuses on it. Boom, snaps straight into it. And then the minute you remove it, it goes back to your face. Or whatever it is, you know. Fantastic little feature.
So that's in the menu.
That's in the they call it the function menu. I've set it up in the function menu. So it was on a pre-assigned button, but I've taken it off of buttons. I've put the ND filters on one of the function buttons. Great little feature from such a little
It is
camera.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've seen it working.
Yeah.
You've shown me it working, and it is fabulous. It really is very, very clever.
3-stop ND filter. Bit onto a switchable. I've got that set again. Brilliant. It's not a massive. 3 stops isn't great, but it's a help.
Yeah,
you know,
when you're
it's
out and
helpful.
about, when you're doing your best Casey Neistat.
No record limit in video. Now there is a record limit of 5 minutes, but you can bypass that. You turn off the overheating sensor, so it cooks the camera and destroys it. That's what we don't know yet, do we?
Yeah,
what the long-term damage is going to be to the electronics if you turn off the overheating sensor. I have actually turned off the overheating sensor, but of course we live in the UK. We don't get hot weather here, do we?
Just throw it out.
Although funny enough, we say that today and tomorrow is going to be blistering hot, but you know, so I'll have to go outdoors and try it, see if I can. Overheat it.
Yeah.
But it hasn't overheated as yet. You know.
Does this unscrew? Can you put?
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
So there's no additional
No filter
lens.
thread.
Right.
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, it is what it is, and that's a shame. It would have been nice if I had put a filter thread on.
Yeah.
But there's another feature with video. So it shows you how video centric this camera is. Oh, I'm going to show you, Paul. Well, I can't because there's no SD card in, but. Yeah, no SD. It's come up a warning. No SD card. It's got a tally light.
Yeah. Again, we've been through this yesterday, didn't we?
Fabulous. Do you know, if you're not into video or you're not into it in a big way, you would have, or if you're not into filming yourself, you're always behind the camera. You would have no idea how incredibly useful the fact that there's a tally light. I've been doing YouTube videos for 3 years. There must be 10, 15 occasions at least where I've been waffling away only to find I hadn't even hit the record button or it stopped for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at the Z50 now. We're assuming that's still running because we actually don't know, do we, Paul?
No, we don't.
You know, with Canon, you just burped.
I did.
But you tried doing it quietly.
I was trying not to tell the people.
The Canon M5, no record light.
No, it's very true.
The Panasonic G90, it's got a record light because of the articulating screen. You know, you can see it on the articulating screen.
The silly thing is that every camera has a focus assist light on the front.
Yeah.
They could surely, double that up as a tally light.
Exactly. But this has got its own tally light. Little camera like this.
Good idea. Yeah, good idea. There's one thing I don't like about it more than anything else.
What's that?
And it confuses the older folk. When you articulate the screen, the Sony is upside down. Can you see that?
Good gosh.
Of course, when you put it on that way, it's the right way up. But
there we go. So that's a sort of a quick overview of the new ZV-1. I'm delighted with it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm pleased with its stills.
I will say this much: it is a lovely little, well-built camera.
Yeah.
And quality all round.
Good. There we go, Paul. I really, really appreciate you coming in today. It means a lot to me, and that's great. And we'll get together. The next one we'll be doing, Paul, I think is a toy that you recently bought. Is the Mavic Mini, the DJI Mavic Air Mini, Mavic Mini, whatever it is.
That was my 50th birthday present, guys.
50, gosh. So thanks everyone for listening to this podcast, if you're listening to it, and thanks to you on YouTube if you're watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and please subscribe to my podcast if you haven't already done so. That would be absolutely fabulous. So once again, thanks very much for listening and for watching. Cheers for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.